Hello, dear aquarists. Welcome again to one of my videos on fish disease cases. Today, we're going to talk about the guppy endler. A very small, tiny guppy can have problems. And as a consultant, I'm someone who does precision guesswork based on unreliable data provided by those of questionable knowledge. Well, because we get sometimes fish, we don't know exactly what's wrong, what's going on, what to treat. So we need to do specialized examination, which I show now in my PowerPoint, that you have to use a microscope to do that kind of, how can I say, quality examination. Well, the guppy endler had a nematode worm infection and a bacterial infection. This is my case 191. You find more details. I try to tell you through my books to prevent and to control fish diseases with suggestions for many medications. And here we see the guppy endler, black-red variety. They had pectoral fin rot, and some are wasting away. See, some looking rather healthy. You can see the attack, but one or two are dying in the week. And of course, the other fish also might have the infection going on, but not so badly damaged yet. But the next coming days there will be. And we already found, when we took the skin scraping, a massive amount of bacteria on the skin. Here you see the big colony of bacteria. You can see it here, the moving mass of tiny speckles of bacteria, which is causing, of course, damage of the fish. Then we saw that the pectoral fins, both sides of the fish, the pectoral fins were badly rotten away, hardly anything left over. So bacteria were causing it. And also the bacteria already were infecting parts of the gills here and here. You can see that the lamellae are gone, are affected by it. And we found internal bacterial infection. You can see here the many quantities of bacteria, different forms, different varieties. Usually there are 2 or 3 different varieties affecting internally this kind of guppy. And then we found a nematode worm, a small tiny worm. You can see it here moving around. In some of the tissue I collected from the organs of the fish. And we found another one here, free swimming, a nematode roundworm. I cannot define exactly what species it is, but we could clearly see it was a nematode, and that nematode can be treated with specific medications. Of course, you have to treat the bacterial infection. That is important, external and internal. And at the same time, you have to treat the nematode worm infection. And the bacteria are a serious killer. Much faster it will destroy the fish than the nematode will do. So the first thing you must think about is using an antibacterial medication. And afterwards, you can treat against the internal worm infection. Details, I have really published a lot of details of that in my books on fish diseases that help you to understand what kind of medication to use, what kind of antibiotics, or you can ask advice from your pet shop or your fish doctor, because there are some products available in the shop. Like from the nematodes, you can use, for example, praziquantel. Yes, and for the infection of the bacteria, a good antibiotic. Yes, sometimes oxytetracycline can help, or ferraltadone. Yes, those products can help. And at the same time, I recommend to use a good functional food. And in this case, I would recommend BASSLEER BIOFISH FOOD PUMPKIN, because the pumpkin helps to control a worm infection and makes it possible that the fish is much quicker repaired. So get my books to get more details. And maybe you want to have a specific training on my Patreon. So I hope this video helped you to understand what I advise as a consultant for you to take better care of your fish. Appreciate for watching, and learning more about fish diseases.